Welcome back, guys, to Trails into Reverie, where last episode, as C's group continued through the Heimdall underground, they came across more and more demons until they bumped into the departed general, Baleful Raider, taking down the potential devil. This allowed them to make their escape into a graveyard above ground, but as soon as they stepped into fresh air, they were attacked by none other than Crow Armbrust, who held the four up long enough for Class 7 to arrive on the scene, with C's group having fended off Reans as the confrontation continues.
Not bad.
What kind of loser gets beaten by their copycat?
Hey, I ain't lost yet. Rean, let's take it up a notch.
Got it!
Do what you can, Thor's Class 7.
I'll show you how devastating I can be.
Don't expect this to go like last time.
Okay, let's kick this off.
No, not again, not from the other side. I have to steal this first of all.
Spirit unification! It's my turn!
I have no other option but to steal the crap out of that.
Hold out! Black Tortoise! I'm up!
What spell could I cast that could help me out for the rest of it? I mean, I guess it's on a 0.
The doll sees all.
Oh, you can't scan me!
They're down!
You're up!
I've got better gear.
This'll be fun!
This'll be fun, will it? I think it's terrifying. But, yeah, each to their own, I guess. I'm pretty sure we can't instant KO anyone, can we? Yeah, Death Blow's not going to be a thing. Not that Nightmare really is. Actually, can you take this guy over here for a second?
Hey, you!
I need to scan, but I've also got a Zero Craft coming up.
My turn.
0 nightmares were earned this day.
Search mode activate. Details procured.
A collected boy who uses a pair of strange swords, has death movements and decisive actions, help him control the battlefield. That is Swin.
Very well.
Okay, so Rean's obviously using the S-Craft here, because why wouldn't he? I'm just worried about what output we might actually end up doing. Do you know what I mean?
Huh.
A dainty girl who brandishes an axe thrice her size, the joints on her limbs suggest she is not human.
My mind is clear. My blade empty. Now!
Glinting slash! Shredded leaves!
Oh no! Now!
Asking for it!
Engaging.
Right, so that was half already.
Search mode activate.
C's the healthiest, which you kind of would expect.
Scan complete.
A cute girl with a teddy in hand, though often underestimated at first, her arts and needles prove her a force to be reckoned with.
It's my turn.
We've got the Holy Sword of Elvars, but Platinum Shield on this group probably wouldn't do us too much of a bad, would it?
Divine Shield. Protect us!
And so it was erased. Like we never even had it.
Now, Nadia!
Engaging. Search mode activate. Details procured.
An enigmatic soul who was the most likely suspect in the kidnapping of the royal couple. They goad their enemies with elegant swordplay.
Let's go.
I would prefer you not to cast a spell, but I think we can impede it. But I think, to be honest, now that we've got the scan, can't we just end the fight from here? Like, I'm not even kidding. We just win now, right? Is it critical or raging fire?
Go berserk! Infernal Hunt! I'm up!
So you have one turn of everything left? Aw, shame if you were to use, like, an S-Craft, right? Is there any buffs to remove on our enemies? Oh, cancel. Does that do spell too?
Eternally flowing. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. First. Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth. Seventh. 8 leaves. Breaking dawn!
You must treat dolls with respect. This could be trouble.
This'll be fun.
Especially when that was so 2 for 1. It was unreal. Unfortunate. Oh, my enemies. Unfortunate.
You're mine! Yeah! Got her!
The rumors got nothing on you.
It's my turn.
Yes, Rean Serious Rean. Is a bit much. Just a bit.
They're open.
I'll assist.
Very impressive.
Oh. You're staying here. It's not easy being outnumbered 2 to 1.
Gotcha!
Shooting my shot.
You're finished!
A pity. I didn't expect my cover to be blown quite this quickly.
What?
Knew it.
You've grown, Eustace, as have your friends.
Rufus?
It's Rufus!
Well, there's a twist I didn't see coming.
But he's supposed to be in Crossbell.
How is this possible? What is Crossbell's new Supreme Leader doing here?
You seem to be confusing me with someone else. That title is not mine.
That makes no sense.
Then you had best get to making sense of it. I have my own affairs to attend to. Ah, impeccable timing. We're off.
Oh. Huh? What do you think you're doing? This is no way to treat a lady! S!
Yeah. Wait!
They had an airship waiting for them.
Who thinks that far ahead?
There's something we have to know, Rufus!
Did you steal the Courageous too? Did you abduct Prince Oliver and Lady Sherazard? Was that really you?
It was not. I had no involvement in that incident, but I made for some fine bait.
Bait? But then where could they be?
If you wish to know what befell the Courageous Two, make for the Nord Highlands.
Why there?
With that, I bid you farewell. Should we meet again, let it be in Crossbell.
Rean and Rufus's root sack too. I really liked how they ran into each other in the end, and it wasn't about the switching, it just did it automatically. That was nice! Except for the switching back and having the paddles all the time. We're going back to Nord. How many horses will we have? How many people will we have? Oh my god, is there enough horses? Just give us something else. I don't even know. A million muck and mires slinking in the shadows. So yes, of course, everyone knew. Well, you know, mostly everyone. Some people might not. But the thing is with voice changes is, in the end, they might change the tone, but you cannot remove the accents. Can you? It's just like they don't do that yet. So it's just, you hear him under it the whole time. You hear him more than the voice. It's just, I don't know if any like real life voice changes at this point manages to change accent and inflection, but it's not like, the funny thing is, if you've got a mask with some kind of voice modulator, wouldn't you make an effort to try and do a different accent? Wouldn't you make a bit of an effort? If you've gone to that much trouble, you should do the next step. That's how I feel. But also, on top of that, of course, the other clues are something like he starts with Galleon Tower as one of the things as well on his ornament. Or if you just, as soon as you've got Eustace as well, just compare the crafts, right? They're just they're like the opposite crafts in certain regards. The brandish, etc. The same kind of animations. There's a lot of other things in there. There's a lot of things in there. It's better than the Sea Mystery in CS1, yeah. It's, again, Trail's storytelling. It's not there to make it so you don't know what's going on. It wants you to know. It does want you to know. If you don't get it, then great, because they get to deliver that to you, and you get that moment. You get the... But otherwise, you do, it does want you to know. It does put things out there. But his name doesn't even start with C, so this has to be a trick. It's Rufus. Yeah, sure. He wears a... One of them. Starts with C. Cravat. There we go. Named after his cravat. Oh, he's looking good. But yes, you'd think he would make an effort to change the accent. That was a no. So with that done, we've now done Lloyd's, Rean, and Rufus's Act 2. Weirdly, just smashing through. So what is next? Where do we go next? To be honest, the route we've played the least so far is still pretty much not C anymore. And his one starts earliest in the day. Oh, okay, never mind, the other two are locked. There we go. What the crap, man? Ah. The illusion of choice. Not a very good illusion when you literally don't give anyone a choice. But I guess. So, we are continuing Rufus's route no matter what. Act 3 begins on the 19th. Continuing on from 17th, so it's 2 days later. Let's keep on keeping on.
You were quite punctual.
You bet. Sup, and welcome aboard the Argo, the vessel of Nine Valley's new high-speed transport service.
Our pilot is a child.
We might have been better off on the ground.
I'll have you know that I'm a licensed pilot. And that's real rich coming from you guys. You look like a bunch of kids about to go on a picnic with their daddy to me.
Ooh, we got burned.
Phew, but boy, did I not see your daddy's ID coming. Who knew my mystery client would turn out to be our former Governor General, Rufus Alborea? Oops. What, do you prefer Supreme Leader now?
Please, if I knew I'd be repeating myself so soon, I would have gathered my audience. That title is not mine.
But then...
I'm confused. Who's Rufus? That's this guy's real name. C was a nickname. So it's Rufus, huh? I think it's much cuter than C. I give it 85 points! Ooh, he kicked your butt, S.
Why would I care when I don't even get what criteria she's basing these on?
So are you famous then, Rufus? Everyone seems to know who you are. He's not just famous, he's super famous. He's the elder son of House Alborea, one of the 4 great houses of Erebonia, and he became Crossbell's first Governor General. Together with the Empire's Chancellor and Crown Prince, he led the country to all-out war. But then he got arrested after it ended. That's all the big common knowledge stuff, but trust me, I know all about the skeletons in his closet. Wow, you're so smart, Nadia.
Is knowing part of handling the unpleasant side of things?
Wow, you're so smart, Rufus.
Can she try not to stir up trouble with him?
Yeah, well, he's apparently not done making a name for himself. Because 3 days ago, he busted himself out of jail so he could lead a load of black-clad soldiers into Crossbell and occupy it again. Then he declared himself the new Supreme Leader and claimed he was carrying on the late Chancellor Osborne's will. And you're saying that wasn't you? Yeah, hang on, you were in Crossbell yesterday and at noon today making statements. When do you have time to go to Heimdall? You couldn't have been at this Crossbell like you said. He's been with us the entirety of today and yesterday. Then that means... So there are 2 Rufus Alboreas, or more like... one of you's a fraud. So it seems. I've no interest in making a public show of him being one, mind you. But I am the genuine Rufus Alborea. On that you have my word. I guess I believe you. Even if Crossbell mistakes the other guy for the real deal, your brother to be able to tell the difference. Yeah, how did you not get it? Can't say I even care. I'm just in it for the mirror. Speaking of, I thought the Erebonian government seized all your assets. How are you going to pay your fare? I've long kept my assets spread out in the event something like this were to happen. What the government sees is a mere fraction of what I own. You really do prepare for anything, huh? Phew, I was worried we were duped into doing charity work for a second. Well, we've come this far. I think it's about time you start filling in the blanks. About what exactly? You. We don't plan to call things off just because we know who you are now. But you've got to admit that you're not an average guy, and that means being around you is a huge risk on our part. I think you owe us a more thorough explanation on what you were up to before we met and what you're after now. It's the least you can do if we're going to keep working together. Very well. I'd intended to do as much from the very beginning anyway. We'll have to understand the full scale of our situation before we advance to the next stage. Rufus's tone remained flat as he recounted recent events. It began late at night on March 14th when Oroc's fort in the Kreutzen province fell under attack. This was the work of the Ebon Defense Force, who were there to aid the Crossbell division of the Imperial Defense Force in their escape. Upon freeing the IDF from their underground cells, they continued on to another cell in that same fort, Rufus Alborea's. Yet their aim was not to free their former leader, but to assassinate him. Rufus deftly turned the tables against them while also managing to extract a wealth of information, even if their knowledge lacked the finer details. He learned that they had abducted Prince Oliver and would be executing a major operation in less than 24 hours. He also learned of a small suitcase that the EDF wished to find with great urgency. Sensing trouble brewing in the wake of Crossbell's liberation, Rufus then resolved to escape to better assess the situation at hand. The next day, March 15th, was no less eventful. An imposter using Rufus's name and face as his own stormed Crossbell's signing ceremony and declared it occupied once more. This information, paired with intelligence gathered to suggest further trouble brewing in Heimdall, helped the real Rufus ascertain his next objective. He issued a statement claiming to be the prince's abductor to lure Class 7 to the Imperial capital. And following that, he set his sights on Oroc's Canyon to take this enigmatic case the EDF was so desperately seeking. You know the rest, of course. Wow, you've been a busy boy, huh? Well, I've been cooped up in a cell for half a year, and I had plenty of pent-up energy eager to be spent. To continue, it's clear that the actions of the EDF and my spurious self were planned to the letter. I imagine a multitude of events these past months have been part of their grand scheme, not just the recent attack on the city. The post-war occupation, the occupiers electing to ignore my calls to surrender, and even the city's liberation a month ago. If this fake Rufus is pulling the strings here, you being around's only going to be one big headache for him. Think it's possible you being locked up in the same place as the IDF was intentional? I would assume so. Everything about it right down to my assassination attempt. And that in itself was just a small part of something much greater. Then what are you planning to do about it? You sound like you've got a pretty good idea of what you're up against. So what does the real Rufus want? I have 2 goals. The first is to eliminate the imposter who seeks to use my name for ill. Makes sense if it means them being around equals, people trying to kill you. The second is to settle a past debt. Oh? Crossbell's current status traces its origins to the war that ended not long ago. I, the primary member of the Ironbloods, was one of 2 who led the charge in that war, the other being the very man whom I revered as a father, the late Chancellor. Having made this mess, it falls to me to clean it up. The Ironbloods are an awful loyal bunch. I also feel a certain degree of responsibility toward Crossbell as its former Governor General. Let me see if I've got my head around this. In short, you want to rectify Crossbell's situation and fix whatever's going on in Erebonia. That sum it up, right? That would be the end result, yes. You know, that's a lot to expect 4 people to pull off. That's why I never specified it being us to achieve that end result. There's no reason it has to be us who faces our enemies. Confronting evil and overcoming it with heart and willpower is best suited to heroes, not villains like myself. Like Rean and his friends, whom we fought earlier, and their SSS counterparts in Crossbell. No need to imitate what they have perfected. Works for me. Doesn't feel like our style. What we can do is learn the truth behind these myriad occurrences in our own way. And we can start with a very valuable clue we happen to have in our possession. Huh? What is it? Why are you staring at me? You're just so cute that we can't help ourselves. Really? I see, that makes perfect sense. To be admired is the destiny of a masterpiece. Gaze upon me to your heart's content. It's hard for me to picture a doll being the key to unraveling all that's going on. It's weird, yeah. And her not remembering anything makes it that much harder. Got any plans for tackling that one, boss? I just so happen to have a question for you, too, regarding that very issue. Jorg Rosenberg was her manufacturer and the man who requested that she be delivered to me. Well, technically, yeah. Now that our work in Heimdall is done, I was hoping to visit him in person. Your hesitant response tells me that may not be possible. Has something befallen him? Nope, he's fine. It's just not much would be gained by going to see him. He's the one who gave us the job, but he specified that he was just an intermediary. My guess is that whoever had him give us the job's also the one who got him to make her. Mainly because he didn't seem to know much more than we do right now. I see. Then our only choice is to aid her in recovering her memories after all. I assume you don't know where you were originally crafted. I wish I did, but I'm afraid not. I've got a place we can start at least. Jorg didn't directly deliver the case to us. He said to pick it up from the Moon Temple. He must have hidden it there before hightailing it out of Crossbell. It'd be a safe bet to say she was made there or close to there. Almost certainly the Rosenberg studio on the Mines Mountain path then. Sounds about right. We passed it on the way to the temple but didn't go inside. A wise decision. If the Meister hid the case elsewhere, then the studio has been compromised in some manner, I'm sure. We still do not know if her memory loss was unintended or deliberate. The danger or no, it's possible that we'll find something to ease her current predicament. So we know where we're going then. Our course was always going to lead to Crossbell. The timing is apt. We may as well go now. But how are we going to get in when the borders are so well protected? Fear not, for I have a plan. Though it will require some preparation. I'll need your participation in order for it to work, but the details can wait. For now, rest well, children. This is Route Act 3. Lights in the dark. I was getting so sleepy while they talked, but I feel wide awake now. Perhaps I'll tour the ship and see what everyone is up to. Sleeping. Simply put. They are having a sleeps. Can I go out? Could this lead outside the ship? I think I'll walk around inside more first. So we have to just do our events. There's not much else to do than that by the looks of things. Hey, Lapis. Is she asleep? Sure is. That's a shame. I wanted to play with her. Sorry to disappoint, but let her rest, okay? She always wants to sleep, so today's been a long, rough one for her. Does she normally sleep a lot? That's an understatement. She spent most of her off days out like a light. She's even fallen asleep in the middle of combat. Has she ever been to a doctor to fix it? Oh no, she's not sick, just very laid back. Makes life a real pain sometimes though, let me tell you. I'm sure it does. But she's my partner, and there's no one else I'd rather depend on when it counts. Besides, I swore to protect her in her brother's place. I intend to honor that for the rest of my life. Are you and her brother different or the same? I'm finding it hard to wrap my mind around the idea of siblings. Let me put it like this. How would you feel if Jörg Rosenberg were to make another doll exactly like you? If they were exactly like me, then they would be perfect. The world being blessed with more perfect things to admire is a good thing. Well, what if that other doll wasn't as cute, pretty, strong, or emotive as you are? What if others called them a failure? There isn't any such thing as a Rosenberg that's also a failure. But if by some chance that were to happen, I'd be very annoyed to hear others speaking of them that way. There you go then. That's how siblings are. Do you think Rufus would be annoyed if he heard something like that about his brother? That's who that boy we saw before is, right? Beats me. I don't know the first thing about what goes on in that guy's head. So it's a mystery. Yeah. Anyway, you should try and get some rest while we have the chance. Assuming dolls need rest anyway. Okay, thank you, Swin. Is that a power saving off mode or something? Maybe that would be good. Jang, welcome to the channel. Thank you for the follow. Thank you indeed. What's up? I thought you'd be sleeping by now. I'm not tired yet. Say, why didn't you give me a neat bedtime story? No, that's a couple of episodes. Like what? You're kind of putting me on the spot. Okay then, why don't you tell me about your swords then? They're neat enough. I like the way you can take them apart and put them back together. Yeah, they've got a pretty unique mechanic to them. When they're apart, I mark my targets to hit them dead on without a problem. I put them together so I can really lay into them for a ton of damage. They're more like special ornaments than weapons if you want to be nitpicky with it. Sounds a little too complicated for me, but you sure look amazing when you use them. I think your axe is cool too, by the way. I don't know how you swing that hulking thing around like it's light as a feather. Just what kind of crazy technology does Rosenberg put in his dolls? Now, should I take it slow and tear you limb from limb, or should I give you a delectable dollop of poison and make it nice and quick? Nadia's dreams sure are colourful. I promise, S, that we'll always be together. I think it's great that main party characters, like proper main party characters, were to come from the books. Not just like guest characters from time to time. Well, they were big things in the past when we've had other characters appear. But it's great that we read these guys' story. Now they're here.
I wonder what it's like to have a sibling. Do I have any out there?
I mean, let me tell you about a crazy witchy lady. That's not actually a witch, because I realize they're good. But she's kind of like one. She's more the negative connotation, I guess. Well, isn't my littlest customer. You want something? I just felt the urge to tour the ship, and you're hardly big. I'm still bigger than you, and come to think of it, I haven't introduced myself to you yet, now have I? Name's Jingo. If there's anything you want your hands on, you just give me a holler. I'm Lapis. Nice to meet you, Lapis. By the way, you're not human, right? Indeed, I am not. I'm a proud Rosenberg doll. Really? The world's full of surprises. You don't look surprised to me. When you're in my line of work, you meet all kinds of folks. You're not the first unusual customer I've had, yeah. You're not the first. I'm not. Your job sounds very interesting. You know, what else would be interesting? Mods. Can I interest you in a Gatling gun for an arm or eyes that let you shoot lasers out of them? I'll give you a pretty discount. You can do all of that? It'd be worth a shot. I agree that it would be interesting, but none of it sounds as beautiful as my current design, so I'll kindly pass. No, Big. If you change your mind, you know where I am. I certainly do. Anyway, it's about time for Cerberus' lessons. Cerberus' lessons. Cerberus! What's his lesson about? Being the strongest guard dog around. Well, now I've got to know. What does that take? So far, I've had him help with the cleaning and run my shop, but today he's getting pointers on flying this baby. Yeah, here we go. He's got to be able to navigate anything life throws at him, and that includes a steering wheel. Okay, then first I need you to plop yourself on top of my seat. Wait, is this going to work? I guess as long as your front paws can reach this wheel, it's all good. You can do this, Cerberus. Good boy. Hang on a minute. I wasn't going to button it first, but I can't keep my mouth shut after what I just heard. Oh yeah? What's that? Maybe the whole idea of trying to teach a dog to fly this airship? Still not hearing what the problem is. How's he supposed to learn if he doesn't take the wheel? All of that is a problem? You're trying to make a dog transcend the limits of the canine species. Come on, now you're just exaggerating. You're welcome to tune in on his lesson if you want. What part of what I said makes you think... Oh, I just had a dream where the whole airship fell out the sky. Where are you, S? Comfort me. Anyway, we're paying for this flight, so if you want to attempt the impossible, do it on your own time. We'd like to live for the landing, if you please. Ah, fine. You're one tough customer.
Cerberus is so cute. I hope I can pet him later on.
Do it now. I'm sorry, what was that? You're trying to say that I'm adorable, aren't you? Well, of course I am. I'm a Rosenberg doll. Don't worry, you're adorable too. It's weird being so small as well that Cerberus isn't actually as tiny as normal. I'm like, can Jingo even see? I guess you navigate by dials and sensors and that, so you don't actually need to see forward. But not only is Jingo not able to see really that much above the wheel itself, but then puts a Mishi doll in front, blocking even more view. Well, I guess really the whole ship does that too. What's that?